Woo! Nature Boy Ric Flair. All right. Welcome, everyone, to the Off Base podcast, the podcast that is carefully crafted. I mean, the amount of editing that I do on this thing is ridiculous. To remind you to suck a fat one if you think you're the only one. Because you're not. I'm your host. I'm the Rocky Mountain no-name Jackass. And it is 50 degrees in the city of Aurora at 7:59 in the a.m. on Friday, March the 4th, 2021. 22. What's going on, everybody? Chaw time. Today's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. I'll tell you why in a second. I really will. Plus, I'm hungry as hell, so I want to get home. My wife's least favorite part of the podcast. For the 2 times out of the year when she actually listens to me on this thing. And I can't blame her. But let's get started. Speaking of my girl, my stepson, he had band practice last night. They're going to New York City. They're playing at Carnegie Hall. It's pretty fucking cool. So he was unable to do the workout with me yesterday as he was indisposed. So she did it with the big yawn. She did it with me. She did the Asylum Fit Test. And she did pretty goddamn good, man. But that's just such a great workout. Sean T just takes you through 9 different exercises that you have to do for a full minute just to see how many you can get done. And, you know, some of them are pretty strenuous to try to do for a whole minute. Some of them you got to take a break on. You know, like when we were doing pull-ups. It's like, you can't do pull-ups for a whole minute. I mean, some people can. I can't. I may be able to bang out, and I do chin-ups too. I don't even do pull-ups. But I might be able to bang out 10, 11, 12 of them. However, if I do that, then my muscles will be cached. And then if I try to get back on and do more, that's a nice shot of a mountain way over there in the, let's see, east, west, north, south. Way in the southwest over there. That's beautiful. I'm going that way, but that mountain that I'm looking at is that way. Anyway, another one that I have to stop at each time are shoulder taps, moving shoulder taps, as well as moving push-ups. Can't do those all the way through either for a minute. They're challenging. Yeah, thanks for beeping at me. What do you want me to stop right in front of you? What a fucking asshole. Anyway. So, she did the workout with me yesterday, which was very nice. I had a partner. And doing a Sean T workout, or the Asylum Fit Test in particular, if I were not to have a partner, I would not get as much rest in between exercises, and it might be even more challenging than it already is. I probably got better numbers on a little less than half of the exercises, and then like for the remaining a quarter of them I either tied, and then for the other quarter I think I went down on a couple of them. But that's neither here nor there. Here we go, though. So that starts us off for the podcast today. The big thing that I wanted to talk about, though, is that yesterday, you know, in my Facebook feed for the past couple days, I've been getting this ad for a raffle that the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Colorado, it might be even Greater Denver, that they're doing, in which they're giving away this $2.5 million mountain home. And I was like, holy shit. And it's a pretty smart idea. They're only selling 85,000 tickets, and I think they're like, what are they, $150 a pop? Which comes out to over, I think when I did the math, over $12 million. And they're giving away just a ton of different prizes. One of them being the grand prize, which is this $2.5 million dream house, Mountain Dream Lodge, or something like that. And then, they have some lesser prizes along the way. Each week, I think they're giving away 10 grand, something like that, up until I think it's May. So for the next 8 weeks. And just a bunch of other prizes along the way, a couple cars they're giving out, or you can take the cash, you can take the lump sums. And that's, I guess, where I'm going here. If I did win the grand prize, I don't think that we would keep the house that's here. We would either take the cash prize or try to sell the house. Probably take the cash prize, because going through the rigmarole of trying to sell a $2.5 million house is probably a pretty large pain in the ass. And over the past couple days, so I bought a ticket for it yesterday, and the chances of winning are very slim. But it's always fun to think about, well, what would you do with that kind of money? And as I was thinking about it, there's a big difference these days between winning $1 million and, let's say, $10 million. Just to do it by a factor of 10. Big difference. And here's what I want to do. I actually want to go through and talk about what I would do if I had $10 million versus if I had $1 million. And let's just say that I won this money. $10 million. Would I go back to work? Absolutely not. No fucking way. Because even if you take that 10 million and you put it in a bank, maybe buy bonds. Either buy bonds or sell option contracts. Sell insurance on stocks, which is a great way to make additional money. Let's say you buy a bond that I don't know, gives you 3% per year. Who knows? Definitely not U.S. government. Well, no, the 10-year I think is at around 2.5% right now. I actually haven't looked at bonds in a while, but I have been watching the market gyrate with the Federal Reserve tightening money or threatening to tighten money. Anyway, let's say you get a 3% bond with somebody who you know is going to pay you back, not the United States government, but like a corporate bond of some sort, or who has a very strong chance of paying you back. Let's say you loan money to Apple. Apple issued bonds a couple of years back. I forgot what the hell for. It was weird. Or just own stock and collect a dividend. You could, with a 3% yield every year, make $300,000. Not bad, Not too bad at all. For the rest of your life. I make close to $100,000 right now. And we still keep our finances tight in what we're spending our money on every month. My wife's very good with her cash. She is unlike most women. Yes, she does buy some shit. And she knows she does. Clothes wise and stuff like that. God, her closet. Our closet is like 95% her, 5%. No, that's not true. Maybe I'll say 80% her and 20% me. But she's got a lot of clothes that she's only worn once and hasn't worn them since. Maybe she's worn them 2 or 3 times, but it's pretty funny, the clothes that she has. But we do keep the purse strings tight. We have 0 debt right now. 0. Our cars are paid for. We are renting. So at some point in the future, we will have a mortgage, which brings me to the next topic. What would you do with $10 million versus $1 million? So first, $10 million, no need to have a job. $1 million, yes, still work. Housing. With $10 million, that's easy. You buy it free and clear. And I would, without a doubt, buy it in Florida, Northwest Florida. The time that we spent there last year was absolutely fucking fantastic. Beautiful. The friends that we had met in a neighborhood called Nature Walk. Houses there were going before the pandemic, probably I'd say from 750,000 to 2.2 million. And now they're going probably from 1.5 to 3, which is wild. So we would get ourselves a nice beach house in the Nature Walk area, probably for somewhere around $2 million. So that leaves me with $8 million left to spend. If I only had $1 million, couldn't afford that. We may look to find a lesser priced house, in which I would probably put a down payment on. We would probably put a down payment on of some sorts, and continue to work to pay that off within 15 years. Get a 15-year fixed. So, big difference, man, between 10 million and 1 million. Now, we could also, if I had $1 million, even though Florida is optimal, we could probably go back to Texas. We really like Texas a lot, so we could probably go back to Texas and buy a house free and clear for a nice house for probably $400,000 or $500,000. That would be fine. I'm fine with that, pal. So that takes care of lodging, because you don't want to be beholden to anybody. I hate debt. It's one of the worst fucking things. Now, granted, if you've an economist by the name of Lacey Hunt, Dr. Lacey Hunt, who used to work at the Federal Reserve, does not anymore, understands the inner workings of the Fed better than anyone, often talks about how much debt that we have that is piling up and piling up. And most of the famous money managers do. And how the United States government has us set on an unsustainable path. But he talks about, hey, yeah, okay, you can take on debt, but if you are not producing an income stream that's going to cover paying the principal and the interest on the debt, well, then what the fuck are you borrowing the money for? And the United States government doesn't make any money. They just take it. They take it in the form of taxes. So, how do you reduce your debt? Well, you either pay it down by getting a revenue stream by taking more taxes, or you stop spending. There you go. All right, I got sidetracked there. So that takes care of lodging. Transportation, my wife has a beautiful car that she drives. She bought it back in, I think, 2018. And I've got this here Buick Enclave that gets the family around. The only other thing that I would buy for myself would be a Jeep. And then we would most likely set something up with the children where if they wanted their own car, we would do something like we pay for half and they pay for half. Help them to line up a job and whatnot, because I do not want to be in the state of spoiling children with money. I got a phone call coming in from Miramonte, California. Never heard of it. Not answering it. Sorry. The only time I've taken a phone call on this podcast is when it was the kids' school calling. But other than that, you people got my attention. My 2 podcast listeners, you have my attention. All right, so transportation, that's no big deal. All those other finer things in life. The only thing I want in a house is a really nice kitchen that has an island with a sink and a stove on it, because I love cooking. As my 2 podcast listeners have heard me talk about over and over and over again on this podcast. But now, recently, one of the things that I would actually love to have in a dream home is a home theater. A home theater that is decked out with posters of famous movies, famous actors, famous sports figures, just decorated with all types of that kind of memorabilia. I just think that's really cool. I like that idea. I like that concept. So, in terms of purchasing other shit, I could use new clothes. That could be fine. But that's secondary compared to the bigger picture. Now, bigger picture is longevity. How is that money going to treat you going forward? With $10 million, I would very easily buy probably $500,000 in silver, $500,000 in gold, $500,000 in silver stocks, and $500,000 in gold stocks, and wait, because at some point the dollar is going to get crushed, which means gold is going to go through the roof. And it's a gradual process thus far. Gold is the only chart that has not gone into a bubble since the pandemic began. And everybody thought it was going to. I thought it was going to, because of the amount of money that we were throwing at the system. When you have that much money chasing fewer goods because nobody was producing anything, that means the value of the dollar goes up. Goes down, which means the value of gold goes up. But gold didn't take off like people had thought. And rather than getting into the minutia of why that is, I'm not going to right now. It's a longer conversation. Suffice it to say that if you want something that's going to hold value, preserve value, and give you purchasing power in the future, it's going to be something that can store value. And what stores value are the precious metals. So it doesn't even really have to be just gold and silver. You could also get platinum, palladium, some of the other semi-precious metals, quote unquote. So that's for longevity. Now let's talk about. So with $1 million, I would definitely purchase some stuff like that, but I obviously wouldn't have the resources to purchase $2 million worth, right? With $10 million, I would want to take care of our families and our kids too. Like, money would be put away for 3 things, okay? One would be college, if they want to go. 2 would be when they get married. And, these aren't large sums of money. It's like, maybe $10,000, $20,000. I wouldn't mind. If I had $10 million, spending that much money on my kids' weddings, that'd be fucking awesome. And then to start them off with, the third thing would be to start them off with a down payment on a house of some kind once they get a little bit older. So that would definitely go to them. As far as our other family members, like my wife's mother, my parents, I have 3 siblings and she has 1 sibling. I think that with $10 million, it would be very easy to give everybody, $250,000 each, and say, hey, pay off your houses so that we can continue to see each other throughout the year, or $500,000. So we definitely try to take care of our families in some way, shape, or form with $10 million. With $1 million, I don't think we can do that. We could probably give them some nice gifts, but nothing like if you had 10. All right, so that takes us then to enjoying things. With $10 million, fuck, I wouldn't be working. We'd probably go to Vegas, at least twice a year. But if we lived in Florida, I'd work out every day, eat extremely healthy, and buy a boat and fish. I'd probably fish 4 or 5 times a day, and would just have phenomenal meals and be in excellent health. May take a trip out of the country to go to Europe every year. That would be fun. Could we do that on $1 million? No, couldn't do it, because I'd still be working. But I would definitely still go to Vegas every year, at least once, if I had $1 million. All right, we're getting back on base here. Now, I'm leaving out like a ton of the details because I only have like 20-25 minutes to do this podcast. It is the Off Base podcast. I'm about to be on base, right? So I'm going to have to be shutting this down. But it really is funny to think about how much $1 million will stretch you these days. And it doesn't stretch you as far as it used to. decline the offer of accepting $1 million? No. But 10 million would certainly set me up for the rest of it. You know what I'm saying? Morning. Dude, I love the mustache.
It's easier to grow whenever you got a mask. Have a good day.
That dude had a serious cop mustache, man. He must have been like 25, 26 years old, but he was sporting it. That was fucking great. Cop mustache, fireman mustache, whatever you want to call it. So anyway, yeah, leisurely, on the leisure side of things, definitely go to Vegas. Regardless if I had 10 million or 1 million, this Christmas, I would take my immediate family back up to Alyeska, which is in Alaska, which is where we learned to ski. Fucking love that place. And we would have a blast for Christmas and New Year's up there. Oh, it'd be unbelievable. But other than that, yeah, life would certainly change with $10 million, as I wouldn't work, but it would have an incredible consistency to the enjoyment of going fishing. Fucking love going fishing, man. With $1 million, stuff would pretty much stay the same, but we wouldn't have the pressures of, or I wouldn't have the pressure. I don't know if my wife does. She probably doesn't. She's very even keel about this stuff. I wouldn't have the pressures of worrying about money in the future. So I think that'll probably wrap it up on the 1 million versus 10 million discussion this morning. Mountains are looking pretty cool. It's overcast skies here in Aurora today. I can't see Denver. I can definitely see the mountains in the background. They look great. We got a nice weekend coming up. We're going to be chilling, doing a fire pit tonight, so I got to make sure that I have a propane tank in the back. I got to get a replacement for it. Actually, I should drive by. Yeah, let me just go by right now, by the gas station here on base and see. Oh yeah, they do still have propane, so I can get a replacement tank right now. So you guys are going to stick around with me for a little bit longer. I'm at 22 minutes. This is one of the shorter podcasts. If I take it to 25, fantastic. Oh yeah, one more thing that I would do, regardless if I had 10 million or $1 million, is I would continue to collect sports cards. I got so into it, man. Since July, we went to Chicago and I sold my Michael Jordan rookie. It's just been a whole hell of a lot of fun collecting these cards again. And just how much money is involved with it. It's pretty amazing how much money is involved with sports card collecting. It's really cool. Anyway, I think that'll wrap it up right now. You guys don't need to come with me to the gas station, right? Hope everybody has a fantastic weekend. Do your best, forget the rest, and don't enter the raffle for the Boys and Girls Club, because that means I have less of a chance of winning. Boys and Girls Club of Greater Denver or Colorado, one of the two. But yeah, don't enter, because I want to win. I want to get that grand prize. I'll take the cash payout, $1.5 million, and I'll still be doing this podcast. So I'll smell you guys on Monday.